Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. Hopefully, we're going to get to the end of this storyline arc tonight. Would be awesome. But we will see how it goes.
The research teams in the Iconians system require your assistance. They have been running thousands of temporal incursion simulations of how to use the Krenim weapon. But I need an officer with field experience to evaluate the project and its feasibility. You will participate in a focus test of the most promising options. A blade cuts both ways. We must be sure that what this weapon can do to the Iconians does not cause greater harm to us.
Understood, Captain Kargan. So, in my new ship, Rapid Class, Tier 6. Let's get out of dry dock. Oh, why don't I just transwarp there?
Welcome! We have been working with the Krenim to build both this facility and a weapon similar to the one developed by Anoraks in the 22nd century. Captain Nog is running point for the Alliance, but teams from all across the Alpha and Beta quadrants are involved with the research. It's fascinating work, but there's a lot to do yet.
How can I help?
Captain Nog might be able to explain more. He's waiting for you.
Good to see you again, Adriana. How have you been?
It's good to see you too. For a few weeks, I was helping the Alliance research new ways to deactivate Iconian gateways. We were making progress, but it wasn't fast enough to stop the advance of the Heralds. After Captain Nog made contact with the Krenim, I asked to transfer here. Now I'm working with interdimensional resonance harmonics to help recreate Anoraks' work.
Having better sleeping?
Yes, I have. I guess the Solanae aren't visiting me at night anymore. Or maybe it's the 14-hour days trying to wrap my brain around complex temporal equations that are wearing me out. Either way, my sleep is greatly improved. Thank you for asking.
Let's hope this isn't a bigger mistake than opening the gateway on New Romulus.
Welcome. We have been working... Captain Nog might...
Lead the way.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed to make a prototype of the Krenim weapon in Anorax's records, but we have not attempted to use it yet. Time isn't something you mess around with, so we have been conducting simulations here of possible incursions, as well as developing new ways to protect and store data on various timelines.
Can you explain to me the process? How is this different from going back in the timeline?
When we talk about time alteration, we're specifically referring to the Krenim weapon's ability to remove something from time. Anything, from a single molecule to an entire civilization. It's as if the target of the weapon never existed at all.
So it doesn't just move something, it deletes it.
Correct. The changes ripple out from the incursion point and result in a new reality where the target no longer exists. This does mean that the ship must be able to fire on a target. The details are a bit more complex, of course, but that's the main difference from conventional time travel.
And no one has a problem with this?
Temporal agents from all three factions are watching everything we do carefully. That's one of the reasons we're running holodeck simulations first. Between you and me, I'm glad they're here. The Krenim are a little too eager to use the weapon. Time manipulation is a very delicate operation under the best of circumstances. We can't just start shooting things out of existence and hoping it all works out for the best.
I agree, Captain.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances.
How about just removing the
We've managed to
Iconians
make
from the
a
time
prototype of
stream?
the Krenim weapon. That was the first simulation we tried. The results were fairly catastrophic.
Catastrophic?
Without the Iconians, the first development of warp technology by other cultures in the Alpha Quadrant is severely delayed by about 50,000 years. Removing the Iconians would change everything we know.
You would eventually develop warp travel, right? It seems inevitable.
Let me put it this way. In one version, the Day Ones eventually rise to power and conquer most of the Beta Quadrant. They are forced back by the Vulcans, who never embrace logic, and later enslave much of what is now Federation and Klingon space.
I can see how this would be a problem.
I'm not done yet. The Herc never developed warp technology at all, so they never invade Kronos and unite the Klingons as a warrior culture. When the Vulcan Star Empire finds the Klingons in the 22nd century, they were mostly farmers who had made some advances in epic poetry. By the present day in this simulation, the Vulcan Star Empire is locked in a to-the-death struggle with the Dominion.
I get it. Removing the Iconians directly is a bad idea.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances. We've managed
So this
to
is something about
prototype
Iconians
of
and
the
time
weapon
travel.
in
Is that
Anorax.
important?
Oh, that the Iconians can't time travel because it unravels their minds. She was being dramatic, but she was essentially correct. When most humanoids time travel, they retain the memories of their timeline of origin. So you realize when things have changed. Iconians are at least partially energy beings. You saw that when Matara was able to use her own power to open gateways. And their brain structure is very different from other humanoids. As far as we understand, if an Iconian traveled back in time, their mind and memories would reshape to fit that time, so they would retain no memories of the present. They don't use time travel because it would literally be taking a step backwards.
I understand now, thank you.
I wish I was seeing you under better circumstances.
Protect
We've
what
managed
we
to.
know?
Once we make an incursion, anything not protected by a temporal shield will conform to the new timeline. That includes all of us once this mission is over. We won't remember the Iconians, the war, or anything that changes in the new timeline. Clouda has been leading the work to create a shielded computer core to hold all the data we currently have. A time capsule, I guess you'd call it.
The core need to be shielded forever?
Correct. This isn't the sort of sacrifice we'd expect any personnel involved in the incursion to make. So we've built a computer to retain the information for us. We'll know what happened before, even though it essentially will have happened to someone else.
Understood.
I wish I was seeing you.
Do you have any ideas on
We've managed
when to
make
make a
prototype
temporal
of the
incursion?
Crinum. We've tried a different number of scenarios, but only in the holodeck. Direct action against the Iconians is proving to be problematic, because so much time has passed since they were first a great power. Incursions that far back in time must be carefully planned, or the fallout of even minor changes can ripple across reality. We have, however, seen some promise in trying to delay their arrival.
But that's just delaying the inevitable for a few years.
Actually, it would be closer to a 700-year delay if our calculations are correct. The Iconians have had 200,000 years to build their fleets, but we're catching up to them. We've already seen what the 29th century technology can do. Imagine what we'll have in the 32nd century.
And so we'll be on more equal footing.
Exactly. The other potential solution is to cut into their current power base. What if the Iconians never allied with the Alachi or the Solanae? We wouldn't be facing the trouble we do now.
What are your best scenarios?
The three most promising incursions each follow one of these tactics. My teams have been running simulations and refining their targets, but I'd like you to assist them using a special quantum recursive algorithm. Our simulators can run the outcome of a possible incursion on the holodeck. Interacting with that simulation will give us more data than just crunching the numbers. We need to really interact with it to see what reality would look like, and for that, I need someone like you with field experience.
I'm not sure about changing time, but simulations can't hurt. How you doing, Batman? Welcome back.
Hello. Please allow me to explain what we're doing here. We've determined that if we remove a specific series of stars from the Beta Quadrant in the distant past, a rogue planet will enter the Iconia system and cause massive geological damage at about the same time the planet was bombarded by the Iconians' enemies. The technological buildup of the orbital bombardment that destroyed the Iconian civilization will still happen, but the Iconians themselves will have to deal with a natural disaster, not a war.
And you think this is better than a war?
Maybe the survivors of a natural disaster, if there are any, won't be so vengeful, and none of the stars we will remove have planets with the possibility of developing life. The overall effect on the galaxy is minimal. It's a painful path, but it could be the one that leads to peace.
I'm doing okay, Batman. Got a new character in GTA 5, huh? Yeah, I gotta get back to that game. It's just a little more exciting. I don't know if I like the idea of removing entire stars.
The number of stars we will have to remove is a concern, which is why we're trying this in a simulation first. But as Captain Nog said, these simulations aren't perfect, so we have devised a holodeck program that will expand and extrapolate on possible effects of the temporal incursion.
You're giving a lot of weight to a holodeck.
It's the best option we have available to us. The holodeck's algorithms have been updated to change and adapt to the data created by the simulated timeline alteration. This is not your average holo novel.
Very well, what do you need me to do?
Once we run the program, you'll be able to interact with our best approximation of the new timeline. Interaction with the holodeck will allow the program to generate a more in-depth solution and give us a better idea of what to expect. We have set this simulation on a Federation star patrolling the Sol system, and you are the captain. If all goes as planned, we expect that almost everything in the system should be close to current reality.
Understood, I'll run the program. Alright, class, huh?
Captain, you're alive! We repelled the intruders on the bridge, but the ship has taken heavy damage, and a lot of the crew are injured.
What is the situation?
Sir, I'm not sure this is the time. So many people are hurt, and most of the systems are offline. The life support is on backups, and our resources are down to nothing, and
I'll help the wounded, but you need to help me. What happened?
the Dominion stopped firing at us when we lost weapons. Now they're focusing on Earth's defense grid, but it's only a matter of time before they return to finish us off.
We'll stabilize the crew and fight back. This isn't over.
Sir, I tried to fight them off. The boarding parties, the Jem'Hadar. We have to stop the Dominion. They can't take Earth too.
Don't worry, we'll stop them.
We can't stop them. Maybe if we hadn't been at war with the Romulans. Maybe if the Klingons hadn't ripped themselves apart. I'll be fine, Captain. Just run.
Go to sickbay if you need to.
I never expected they would get so far into our defenses. I'm sorry, Captain. I just need a moment. Then I'll be ready to fight.
Whenever you're ready.
Incoming hail!
USS Ajax. Sensors show your ship is completely defenseless, and I would prefer not to delay our arrival at Earth to deal with such a minor annoyance. Surrender now, and I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
We will never surrender. Warning, hull breaches in Deck 4, 5, and 6. Emergency force fields engaged. Log integrity down to 28%. Weapons offline. Shields offline. Light support. Emergency backups engaged. Quadrant casualty report. Betazoid taken. Black Prime taken. Vulcan is uninhabitable. Captain's personal log. Captain's personal log start 87319.0. We haven't seen the bulk of the enemy fleet in 3 days, but their scouts continue to harass us. Vulcan is lost, Andoria is in flames. Romulus, Teller Prime, Betazoid, trail ashes. If the Romulans had been different, the Klingons barely had enough ships left to patrol their home system. They weren't a threat anymore. We were offering friendship, but the Romulans refused us. Then the Dominion came and took everything. Scan for Iconian activity. Long-range sensors are offline. There is no Iconian activity in the immediate area. Download all data. End program.
Sorry, we were watching from the control room, and that could have gone better. Even with all that, the simulation data on whether the Iconians were entirely eliminated from that timeline is inconclusive. We were able to record your interactions, and we've been able to piece together what happened from those.
Sounds good, Batman. What did you find?
From what we can piece together, the Klingon Empire was never unified by its conflicts against outsiders, and the great houses turned on one another instead. The Romulans took the chaos as an opportunity to attack. The Federation stepped in to help the Klingons, and the war between the three factions basically ripped the quadrant apart. The Dominion then conquered all three weakened powers.
That is not our solution.
Agreed. My team will continue working on other possible incursion scenarios.
Perhaps we can weaken their power base. Ugh, Noi.
Another one of you Voyagers? I don't know how you can help, but very well. My team is working on scenarios that reduce the Iconian power base. We're attempting to do so by fixing a mistake that Janeway allowed to happen decades ago. We're going to stop the Vaadwaur from being rediscovered. We plan to do this by preventing Voyager from ever coming into contact with underspace. This will prevent them from finding Vaadwaur Prime, and 7 of 9 will never wake the Vaadwaur.
I don't know what you mean by Voyager. I never served on that ship.
No, but you're all the same. You come to our quadrant, meddle in affairs that don't concern you and that you don't understand, and leave chaos in your wake. Now you want us to help you alter time. Tell me, does that sound like something someone like you should be doing?
I'm not sure that power should be in your hands either.
None of us are going to survive if we don't try to repair the damage you've already done. The goal is to cause a solar flare that will force Voyager to divert from the course it was on when it stumbled into underspace. If it safely passes without entering underspace, it can continue on its trip home and bypass the Vaadwaur entirely.
I suppose that might work.
The simulation is set for the USS Voyager, which is fitting since they caused the problem in the first place. Our projections show that even if the Vaadwaur never return, your people will still find a reason to stick your noses into our business. So we're attempting to see how the elimination of the Vaadwaur will change the formation of the Delta Alliance. You will be a member of the diplomatic team.
I'll run the program, and watch your tone.
Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your quadrant for some of the Krennin's troubles. After all, if Voyager hadn't restored the Vaadwaur, they would have never been in a position to ally with the Iconians. But there is no reason to dwell on past hurts. We're trying to fix what we can here, and then learn to accept the rest. Noi funnels that passion to help his people into his work. Perhaps it will change everything.
We all need to work together to defeat the Iconians.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Both Captain Nog and Seven speak highly of you.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I've met anyone from your species before.
My name is Claudia, and I am a Tutarian. We're from a region of the Delta Quadrant Voyager never visited, so we haven't had much contact with species from the Alpha and Beta quadrants until now. However, my world has had close ties with the Krenim for several years. Now that they are actively pursuing temporal technology, I chose to join them and lend whatever assistance I can. I miss my home, but I've made a new one here. Meeting Noi has opened me up to a world beyond my own.
I see.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
What do you do here?
I was on Kiana Prime with Noi when we received word of the Vaadwaur attacks. We had only hours to get the temporal equipment running and remove the population from the time stream. Since then, the focus of my work has been developing more stable data storage. We can see into other timelines, but we need a way to secure the data through temporal shifts so we can preserve information about incursions and their effects. In the case of a catastrophic shift, that data could be used as a map to restore the timeline.
Interesting.
It is a pleasure to meet you.
Noi doesn't seem to like us
Captain,
much.
Don't mind Noi. I think he partially blames people from your... It is a pleasure...
Goodbye.
This is an absolute disaster. I had thought that Admiral Tuvok was being pessimistic about the chance for success here, but now I think he was right.
Alliance making isn't a quick process.
No, it's not. The hierarchy started setting these people against one another before Admiral Tuvok and his team could start to pull them together. The very fact that they all agreed to be in the same room is a minor miracle.
Think you can bring her?
Eventually. Between Vulcan logic, Klingon tenacity, and Romulan pragmatism, we'll convince everyone here the threat is real, and an alliance is in their best interest. But it won't be easy. Now, if you'll excuse me, I see I have another argument to break up.
Good luck, Ambassador.
We've always tried to be good neighbors and treat other races with respect, but this is really too much. The Malon are using our system as a dump, and their trash isn't our problem.
Malon aren't the biggest danger to your people.
The Malon might not be the biggest threat, but they are the most immediate. Wait until they start dumping their trash in your front yard, and see how you like it.
Keep talking to the Malon, perhaps you can find a compromise.
Are you here to preach about responsible waste management too? You can save it. I have a commitment to my people and my planet that supersedes any other concerns.
Maybe there's someplace you can dump your waste without harming others.
We don't need outsiders telling us what to do. If the Talaxians want to talk, they can come to us directly.
Let me see if there's another way to get you interested in joining this conversation. The mainline have resisted attempts to access... Oh, excuse me. I had to sneeze. The mainland have resisted attempts to accept less hazardous waste management practices and continued dumping waste throughout the quadrant. The most at-risk population are the Talaxians. We have a new colony close to the mainland dumping grounds. Mainland have moved into Talaxian space to avoid hierarchy attacks. Diplomatic relations between the mainland and the Talaxians are deteriorating rapidly. Mainland have accused the Talaxians of working with the hierarchy, a charge the Talaxians strenuously deny. Analysis? Bethans could potentially pressure the mainland to return to the negotiating table. Let's try it.
Yes, what is your question? I am rather busy. The Hazari are stepping up their smuggling operations, and the hierarchy's new drive for profits has created a significant increase in attacks on unaligned transports.
Will the Bethans be willing to assist the Talaxians in their negotiation with the mainland?
We have enough to do at the moment without getting into a dispute that doesn't concern us. The hierarchy is harassing our supply lines, and I'm convinced they're behind the losses we've taken over the past 3 months. We're having to double up patrols, which means we're leaving holes the Hazari can slip through. The Malon are a headache we don't need.
I find that working with allies usually brings about positive results.
Yes, what is your question? I am rather busy.
I'm sorry to trouble you.
The
I'll talk to the
Hazari are stepping
Hazari.
up. Good luck with that. The Hazari aren't interested in anything but making deals. This whole meeting is just a waste of time. Unity might work where you come from, but I don't have any reason to cooperate with criminals like the Hazari or thugs like the hierarchy.
Maybe I can convince them differently.
What do you want? Did the Benthans make you one of their little deputies? Or was it them? Before everyone broke ties with the hierarchy, they told us what people say about us. Mercenaries. Honorless. Ha! They all deny it, but we know. Now we look out for ourselves.
Will you be willing to pull out of Bentham space?
No. We need to make a living, same as the rest of you. If the Benthans would take out the hierarchy on our borders, we wouldn't be forced to move into Bentham space. But no, they won't do that. They don't think mercenaries rate protection.
Sounds like you should be working with the Benthans, not against.
What do you want? Did the Benthans make you...
That's how you think? I guess we're done.
Fine. Run back to the Benthans. I'll be here if you want to talk business.
Sorry, but I'm not in the market for mercenaries.
Unraveling this mess could take months, years.
You're the right man for this job, Ambassador. Diplomatic Quadrant Threat Report. The number of planets the hierarchy have taken outright has increased 20% over the past 6 months. A push for higher profits have prompted steady growth of hierarchy territory. Reports of reductions in the area near hierarchy space have increased by 77.2%. However, this data has not been confirmed by outside sources because few Delta Quadrant species are willing to share information with the Federation. Further investigation is needed. Ship's log. Ambassador's log, stardate 87234.5. Our allies in the Iconians system have been invaded by the hierarchy forces. The Iconian colony is a small farming community with no strategic value. The attack simply does not make sense. According to one survivor, we managed to find the hierarchy are working with the Alachi. Alachi took captives to an unknown location. scan for Iconian activity. Long-range sensors are detecting both Herald and Iconian readings. They do not appear to be in active conflict with Alliance forces. You're seeing more ships than normal. There are both Herald and Iconian signals in hierarchy space. It appears the Heralds may be using that area as a staging ground. The coordinated strike with a hierarchy on high-value targets throughout the Delta Quadrant. Cross-check with Voyager logs shows a similar situation in the Alpha and Beta quadrants. Download data. And program.
Damn, that was useless. The Iconians were so determined to have a hold here that they simply found another species to fit the bill. Maybe if you had been a better negotiator, you would have been able to unite those representatives against the hierarchy. Then at least we would have had a chance.
And maybe we won't.
This scenario isn't as catastrophic as trying to remove the Iconians, but it's not exactly ideal either. We'll have to try something else.
Yes, this isn't going to work.
You must excuse my husband's harsh demeanor. This has been a very trying time for the Krenim. Thank you for helping us get this far. We'll keep working.
Thank you, Claudia.
Trust my wife to be the voice of reason. Perhaps I was too hard on you. I just want to be able to fix all of this. We can't turn back time, but we can change it. Please speak to Gamma Team. Captain Nog thinks very highly of their plan.
Thank you. I'll speak to Gamma Team.
Hello. We've been waiting for you. Our team is focusing on delaying tactics. What if Iconia had never been discovered? In 2365, Captain Donald Varley of the USS Yamato found a star chart on Denias 3 that revealed the location of Iconia. I want to redirect a meteor to impact the archaeological site on Denias 3 before Captain Varley begins his excavations. Iconia will remain a myth, and we will not attract the Iconians' attention as early as we did.
But that's just a delay. Another gateway was found a few years later.
True. But if you compare the changes in Iconian technology over the past 200,000 years with what the rest of us have done in the past 2 centuries, it's obvious that the Iconian culture has stagnated while we have advanced rapidly. Additionally, there are other factors in play that could trigger the alliances and sharing of technology that have come about because of the Iconian threat. It's a risk, but it's one that could pay off.
I see why you're trying this on the holodeck first.
The program is set for Romulan space. Because the Hobus supernova was caused by direct Iconian interference, we expect Romulus to be intact in this new reality. As such, the Romulan Star Empire should once again be a major power in the quadrant. Your role will be as an officer on a Romulan warbird.
Restore the Romulan Star Empire?
Yes. To call it a huge change would be an understatement. Please be aware that nothing will be done unless the Republic agrees this is the best possible solution. There is already a team here working on the possible restoration of Romulus, and Commander Jirak has been authorized to speak for the Republic if needed. The fact that our data shows delaying the Iconian arrival will also save Romulus is an interesting coincidence, but it does not mean we will accept the solution without looking at other options.
I see.
The program is set for Romulan.
Understood, I'll run the program. Maritaire is waiting for you. Okay. There's Commander Tamare.
Sub-Commander. I'd like to test out some new security passcodes. If you'd be so kind as to seal the doors and disable certain, equipment, we need to talk.
Understood, Commander.
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander. The Tal Shiar can't hear us now. I need to talk to you about Datan and the Separatists. They've been located near the Dewa system. What we do next could change our future.
The only thing I know about Separatists is what we've heard through official channels. What do you know?
Datan has been inspired by Spock's teaching. He and many others have left the homeworld and are gathered together in a flotilla somewhere near Tal Dewa. Datan and his allies have been making overtures of peace to both the Federation and the Klingons. Because of this, they have enough support that even the Tal Shiar won't take direct action against them. The Borg are at our borders. The Empire can't fight the Collective and the Separatists at the same time.
What does this mean for us?
Thank you for playing along, Sub-Commander.
You're not asking if we
can't
should
hear us
attack
now.
them, are you?
If I was, I wouldn't have needed you to lock the door. I intend to put Lieutenant Salan in the brig, and then take this ship and crew to join the Separatists. Are you with me?
If we do this, we'll be traitors to the Empire.
I know. I have tried to work within the system, but the system is broken and corrupt. Datan and his people are building something better. You and I both know it. The crew knows it. We will take this warbird to Datan, and we will finally be free.
We'll have to do what is best for our people.
Secret conversations between the commander and one of his senior officers? Very suspicious. Loyal citizens of the Romulan Star Empire have no need for locked doors.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to accompany the security team to the brig.
Tamer, you are a fool, and you will be the death of everyone on this ship. Datan and his people are terrorists. If you join, you will share their fate.
You are under arrest. Please accompany, and you will not be harmed.
My friends, it is time we forge our own destiny. A destiny free from the tyranny of the Tal Shiar. If we leave, we will have a better, brighter future than what they would allow us. I know this is a step into the unknown, but it is a step we will take together. Throw off your chains. We will join our brothers and sisters in freedom.
I wanted to let you know that I am with you and Commander Tamer. Some of my family has left Romulus to join Datan. I'll be proud to join them.
Set a course for the Dewa system. Notice to all hands, seminar traitors in our midst. The historical executions of traitors to the Star Empire has been moved to 2100 hours. Attendance is mandatory for all officers not on duty at that time. Squadron status report. Notice to all ship commanders, Starfleet vessels have been assisting new Romulans area near the neutral zone. Imperial ships are being dispatched in a show of force. Any ships harboring or assisting separatists are to be fired upon. There are no exceptions. Ships in Group Gamma are being reassigned to patrols in an area targeted by the Borg. Contacts are regular, but vigilance is needed to eradicate the threat and protect our colony worlds. Commander's personal log. Commanders and personal... Can't speak English today. Commander's personal log, triple encryption protocol Zeta 6. Gaius is becoming suspicious. I've been speaking to members of the senior staff, and most are in favor of making a run to the flotilla and joining Datan, but I remain cautious. They are doing the right thing, but the Borg are nipping at our heels. Every ship the fleet loses might be one needed to protect Romulus in its hour of need. But what is there left to protect? Scan for Iconian activity. Long-range sensors show no Herald or Iconian signatures. There are no references to Heralds in the ship's database. Only references to the Iconians are in historical files, and most refer to Iconians as a myth. There are heightened levels of Borg activity throughout the Beta Quadrant, and multiple colony worlds have been assimilated. Romulan fleets are on high alert, but have not been able to make major inroads against the Collective. Download all data. Program.
That is the most promising simulation yet. It appears there was some merit to our hypothesis that the Iconians advanced their plans due to early contact.
That's not perfect by any
The
means.
readings do indicate higher levels of Borg activity, but it should be an acceptable risk.
This is a major altercation to the timeline. We should be cautious.
The data in this simulation does show higher Borg activity than we're currently seeing, but there are no signs of Herald, Iconian, or Solanae presence at all. And while the Romulan Star Empire is restored to their former power, there is a democratic Romulan group opposing the Tal Shiar. And more importantly, Romulus is intact. This is the result many of our Romulan researchers have been trying to bring about.
But this isn't our reality. We'll be making significant alterations to everything we know.
The political calculus of the Quadrant will change, but the data supports what you saw on the holodeck. No Iconians. We have solid projections. The only suggestion I have now is that you consider it in conjunction with Captain Nog and the Republic representatives here.
I'll discuss it with them, but I'm not making any promises.
This last test has the most promising results I've seen, and saving the Romulan homeworld is an added bonus. We're not going to have a lot of shots at this. I've been looking at Anorex's work, and I think it's too easy to get into a temporal loop where you try again and again for a specific result, and time starts fighting back. I'm inclined to say this is our best chance. But this will have a huge impact on the reality we know, especially your people, Commander Jirok. I won't give my authorization without hearing from everyone.
We can't move forward without considering the effect on the Republic, Commander Jirok.
This is difficult. It would change everything for us. We'd have our home back, but the Republic, everything we've built, it would all be gone. But there's still hope. Even in this other reality, Datan has led many Romulans away from Sela and her Tal Shiar thugs.
This impacts the Republic most of all.
The simulation specifically mentioned Datan and a separatist movement. Commander Tamer makes the choice to join Datan, the same choice he made after the homeworld was lost. With Romulus, we could have numbers. More people who have had enough of the Tal Shiar's oppression could join us. Maybe millions more. If Datan is able to get a movement going, even at the height of the Empire's power, I have to believe that change is possible.
What do you think we should do?
Make the incursion. The lives we save will be worth the work we'll have to do to reform the Republic. The Tal Shiar wasn't able to stop us the first time. They won't stop us again.
If the Romulan Republic thinks it's worth the risk, then we should try it. Sir, we have been informed that the Losette and the Krenim vessel will be traveling with us to the site of temporal incursion. The Krenim vessel has a weapon on board. The Losette will provide additional security and manpower if needed. Understood. Anything else? All three vessels will be temporarily shielded to protect us from changes in the timeline. As long as that shielding holds, we'll be able to observe the changes, even interact with them, but will not be part of the new timeline. Captain Nog says temporal shield generators can be damaged. We need to be careful. We can beam you up to the Desi El Gelts as soon as you're ready. Prepare for immediate departure.
Target acquired and locked. Activating weapon. Incursion complete.
It will be good to see the world of my birth again. Elements? Is that Romulus? It's been completely assimilated.
Yes, I think we have a problem.
No. We expected to see some Borg activity, but this can't be right.
What happened?
I agree that this is unexpected, Commander, but we knew there would be anomalies. We need more information. Let's find out where the simulation might have gone wrong.
Stay on the edge of the system. Jirok and I will move in for sensor sweeps. Last thing we need is the Borg to assimilate the Krenum's weapon.
The whole system can't be assimilated, can it? That is a lot of Borg.
According to these scans, the planet has been completely assimilated. I'm not detecting any non-Borg life signs. This is bad. Really, really bad. We need to fix this.
Agreed.
Borg ships decloaking. Red alert.
Great, the Borgs have cloaks now. Shields up.
First the Klingons, now the Borg. Does everyone steal cloaking technology from us?
Target shields have failed.
Borg reinforcements on an intercept course.
Target shields have failed.
We need more information before we can fix this. I'll keep the Krenum ship well out of Borg sensor range while you go in and find out what happened. Hurry. More Borg will be arriving soon.
Won't we be affected by a time shift once we leave the
I've
ship?
modified some personal shield generators to shield you temporally as well. I'm transporting them over now. Hurry. The temporal shielding drains a lot of power. You won't have much time down there before you're unprotected. If that happens, this will be your new reality.
Understood, we'll get the data. We have the temporal shields for the away team, sir, and Claudia says she's concerned about the weapon. Probably have one more shot before the capacitors burn out. We need to make this right now and get back to a timeline that's not run by Borg. Sensors are detecting a mainframe that will have the data you need. A set will remain to protect the Krenum ship while you and Commander Jirok beam down together information. Ready for transport.
We need more data to plot a possible solution. With any luck, the Borg will have what we need. Maybe. Our focus is on restoration. There is a computer node in this area of the Unimatrix that should have what we need. Find the node and download all the data you can from the point where we made our incursion. That should help us find out how to fix this.
We'll find the data.
I'm going to join you. I know this place. Or at least I knew this place. Before we lost the homeworld, it was a Talshar complex. Most of the secrets of our empire were stored here. I thought I was getting my home back, but now the Borg have taken it all away. This is like losing Romulus all over again.
I'll do what I can to help,
The
Commander.
controls ahead of us will unlock the bulkheads. The whole planet, all our people, they're bored. I can't believe we were so wrong. Cover me! I'll override the door controls.
Hurry up.
Got it.
Yes, Mr. Stealth Dog, this is pretty good.
We have to find a way to make this right.
Vaporize their butts.
Resistance is futile.
There. That's the access node console we need. Locked. We'll have to circumvent their security measures. Wait! Incoming Borg!
Enemy targets on sensors.
When we lost the
Enemy
home
targets
world,
on
I
sensors.
thought that was the worst thing that could happen to us.
You will be assimilated.
No, I will not.
This was Romulan technology once, but it's been completely assimilated. Hakiv?
You will become one with the Borg. Resistance is futile.
Open temporal records. Accessing records. Drone 2 of 8 reporting to Alcove 12 Gamma for daily regeneration. 8 of 10 to Section 3 Beta for manifold maintenance. 3 of 27 is at 35 completion of the regeneration cycle. Break down records by year and provide a summary of events for Romulus system only. Display results with oldest entries first. Start date 68589.04. Romulus system added to the collective. Start dates 68590269000. Unimatrix established in orbit of Romulus, designated Unimatrix 652. Stardates 690002700000. All adjutants of Unimatrix 652 redesignated to Trimexes 1152 through 1247. Download all the data.
It looks like the main invasion of Romulan space occurred about 20 years ago. Something happened in the Delta Quadrant. The Borg assimilated something that greatly improved their technology. They adapted, evolved, and my people, they didn't have a chance. Maybe it's our fate to lose Romulus.
All we can do now is try to restore the previous timeline. Maybe this will help. Sir, board signatures are on approach. You need to get out of there, sir. Get us out of here.
Let's get out of here. There are more than 20 Borg ships on an intercept course.
Understood.
More Borg on the way. Borg decloaking.
Warning. Ship is under attack. 4 shields failing. Target shields have failed.
Resist this.
Transmit the data. Hurry. We're under attack.
Nog?
We're losing power. Send the data now before we lose temporal shielding.
Sending the data now.
Focus on your repairs. We will make sure the data is preserved. Data is fresh and ready.
Target shields have failed. Right shield failing. 4 shields failing. Rear shield failing. Left shield failing. Target shields have failed.
Communications array is ready. Secure channel confirmed.
Data received.
I'm running the numbers now. Target the Borg transwarp network. The Borg may never be able to reach Romulus.
It is a great risk. The Borg have a great deal of influence on time. There is no time to run simulation.
We have a choice.
No. Targeting the transwarp network.
Fire the weapon, now!
The Borg are gone. But so is Romulus.
Romulus isn't the only thing we lost. Temporal shielding is failing.
What happened?
The Borg did too much damage to the generators. If we lose the temporal shielding, we'll all reintegrate with the timeline.
Has anything else changed?
Checking. No. The Tutarians. They're gone.
What? How?
I see the problem. 20 years ago, your people tried to replicate the work of the Solanae to protect themselves from the Borg. In this timeline, they failed.
Temporal shield is at 8%.
No, I need to restabilize the shields.
I'm downloading my personal files into the shielded core. You'll have all my research notes and everything we've recorded from this mission.
You're giving up? When the shield fails, if the Tutarians were lost in the past, then you'll be lost too.
Temporal shield is losing integrity.
Is there anything we can do?
No, we all knew the risks. I love...
There's been a development, Captain. Captain Nog, Commander Jirok, and the Krenim researchers are waiting for you in the conference room to go over their findings. I'll meet them there.
We found a temporally shielded computer core, and it shows 2 uses of the Krenim weapon. But as far as I know, the Iconians are still out there. We changed the timeline, but we didn't fix our most important problem.
How different is the world
We
now?
won't be sure until we finish analyzing the data, but the Krenim weapon was used twice. I remember being on the bridge of the Krenim ship and seeing a readout with a far lower power reserve than had just been there a moment before. I'm sure you had a similar situation.
I did.
As to the greater differences, we'll know more soon. I only hope the ripples from what we did today don't start a tsunami.
Agreed.
We found a temporally...
What was in the
haven't
core?
dug that far into the data yet, and it will take some in-depth investigation to catalog all of the changes. Noi is going to lead the group taking care of that. I will say it is odd to find personal logs I don't remember making.
I imagine that would be strange.
Very. But from what we've already seen, it appears the reason the weapon was fired twice was because we had to try to correct a change we made. Technology like this seems so simple, but even the smallest change can make more trouble than it solves. We have to be more cautious. Far more cautious than we've already been, I suppose. The next mistake might not be fixable. Time alteration might not be the answer. There are some problems that can't be solved with a weapon. But time travel... Look, whatever happens, it was good working with you. I hope we have the chance to do so in the future.
Good working with you too, Captain.
I have a lot of information to analyze. The shielded core appears to have made it through the process intact, and will give us a wealth of data on the timeline and how the changes have affected it. Clearly, you made a mistake somewhere.
No, you
I
did.
still feel this is the best technology available to us, but we will need minds sufficient to the task to operate it.
Goodbye, asshole.
I was conducting another simulation, and all of a sudden I got an emergency call telling me to stop everything. I will be looking at whatever data we managed to save to try and determine what went wrong. Maybe we can try again after we know more.
I hope you find something. We can't afford another incident like that.
It has been good to have you here, but we will have to consider if time alteration is really the best course of action. Of all the records we have of time travel, few have as drastic a result as this. Perhaps removing elements from the time stream isn't the solution we need.
Goodbye.
We've put so much hope into using the Krenim technology to solve our problems. Perhaps I was caught up in the possibilities and blind to the potential for disaster. We tried and we failed. But this isn't the end. We'll keep looking at the simulations, as well as any other option open to us. I have to have faith that we will find a way to defeat the Iconians.
Discover what happened and move on from there. It's all we can do. Sir, I'm concerned about using time travel to solve the Iconian situation, but it's one of the only options we have they don't. I hope whatever the Alliance decides to do, we don't end up in a worse situation than we're already in. Are you ready to transport to the Desiel Gelts now? Yes, I am.
Captain Nog tells me that the initial test of the Krenim weapon was less than promising. He says that he and his team have a great deal of data still to analyze. But I do not believe they will find much that will assist us. Removing elements from the time stream is reckless, and while our options are limited, we should not destroy ourselves in a fruitless effort to destroy the Iconians. It is time to consider all of our alternatives. One way or another, the war ends today. The Iconians are massing for a final push towards the key worlds of the Alliance. We are gathering any remaining forces to mount a defense. And perhaps, if we are fortunate, we will be able to turn back time.
Alright, let's start this final mission.
You are cleared for docking.
Random temporal phasing technology makes this one of the few safe rallying points for what remains of the Alliance fleet. Captain, I hope I'm not speaking out of line, but I'm looking forward to paying back the Iconians for all the ships and friends that are missing from this muster. I miss them too, but right now I need to check in with some of the other captains about our orders.
The High Command is still intact, and Kronos remains unconquered. Even so, this war cannot be won if we lose Earth. The Bortesque will fight until she can fight no more, as will I. If this is to be our end, then I will meet it with blade in hand and blood in my teeth. I can ask for no greater honor than to fight beside an ally who has shown this courage time and again.
Kapla, Captain Corin.
Glad you're here. We've been fighting non-stop and it feels like we're barely making a dent. Command says we're preparing for our last chance. I hope they have an ace up their sleeve, because I can't see a way to defeat the Iconians in a straight military battle. Whatever happens, just remember that you'll always have the Enterprise at your side.
Thank you, Captain Sean.
All these years of pain and strife, and it comes to this? I cannot believe that this is how we will end. Our suffering, our struggles cannot be rendered so meaningless. You know what we have been through. This bitter taste, this grief that washes over me, cannot be the last thing that I feel. We will rise again from this. We must.
Jolan true, Commander Jirok. It's grim, sir. Most people are trying to stay hopeful. We've all lost so much in this war, the pressure is just wearing everyone down. We should go to the briefing. Maybe Captain Cogran has some good news. Let's go.
We have defeated one Iconian, but the cost to do so was too high. The Iconian forces are too numerous for us to sustain such a strategy. We have been forced to our last resort. The Crinim time ship has been modified, and we can use it to generate a portal to send us back to the ancient time of Iconia. Once there, we must prevent any Iconians from escaping the destruction of their home world. If necessary, we must kill the remaining Iconians ourselves.
Our time travel experiments have all failed so far.
We presumably failed a temporal incursion, changing things in the past while remaining in a bubble of temporally shielded current time. This allows the timeline to unfold as it will, almost randomly. My team and I have been working on an alternative method that will actually send someone back in time to the past, where they can directly affect the timeline and help to guide it along the desired path. We've been running some basic scenarios that leave us quite hopeful that we can aid in the original attacks on ancient Iconia, to ensure there are no survivors for us to deal with in the present.
This seems like an exceedingly risky plan. Even if it works, we'll be engaging in genocide.
We cannot sustain this war. The Iconians will destroy or conquer every species in the galaxy if we do not stop them now. There is no guarantee that this plan will work, but if we do not try, we will certainly lose everything. Our long-range sensors have detected signs of transit from the Iconian spheres. The Iconians must be preparing their heralds for another large-scale invasion. We are gathering our remaining forces to make our stand.
Begin the briefing.
The Iconians have picked our next battlefield, and it is the Sol system. If Earth falls, we have lost this war. We have one move left to us, and it is to move this war to a battlefield of our own design. We will attack the Iconians in the past. We've identified that the Iconians were forced from their homeworld in an attack 200,000 years ago. We will take part in that attack and ensure there are no survivors to fight us in the present. Noy's team is busy reconfiguring the time ship. There are no guarantees, even with time travel on our side. We must hold out long enough for a ship to pass through a temporal portal. That means fighting this fight, and every other, until this technology is complete.
Captain, this goes against everything we stand for. Everything we've been fighting for.
You talk of honor, and duty, and freedom. All of these will just be words if we fail. We can try to live up to these ideals when we survive.
Oop, didn't mean to bypass that one.
You are cleared for departure. Good luck.
Thank you. Iconians begin their attack. Incoming hail from Captain Cogran. Put it on screen.
I've gotten word from Nori. They've completed their modifications, and the Crinim time ship is on its way. We must hold off the heralds long enough for the Crinim ship to arrive and generate a portal. Once the portal is open, we will go back in time to ancient Iconia and try to change history. But first, we must survive long enough to do so.
Where can we shore up defenses?
Enterprise here. We've intercepted a group of heralds. Can you give us a hand with them?
Knowledge Enterprise, we're on our way.
This is the USS Hood. Our attack group is taking heavy losses.
Our eyes are responding to your call for assistance.
I could use some help on Stars. Shipyard, sir. Let's do it.
Target shield has failed.
The station is reporting herald ships are moving in some kind of massive infrastructure, requesting immediate assistance. Shipyards are losing integrity. We need someone on damage control, or we may lose them before the ships in dock can mobilize.
Akagi here. We've restored main power. Thanks for keeping the gantries intact. Bringing the Fight 99th Attack Wing into battle.
This is ESD Control. We're losing life support and transporters are offline. The Earth space dock has lost main power. We're evacuating the crew.
Captain Harrow's maneuvering to attack the Alliance fleet's exposed flank. We need to move quickly to intercept them before they can disrupt our battle lines. Acknowledged.
Target's shields have failed.
Damodar.
I told you I'd be back, and this time I brought friends.
We've brought together forces from every quadrant of the galaxy. And Iconians have done the impossible. They've united us.
Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
I hope you're happy to see me. It doesn't look like things have been going too well so far. I left because I needed to find allies for this war, ones who you couldn't or wouldn't talk to. The Dominion understands the Iconian threat, and they are quite eager to protect their stake in this galaxy.
Your timing, as always, impeccable.
The Herald ships are regrouping. We should use this respite to our advantage. Form up at the KIS Anarax. We must protect it long enough for it to activate a time portal. Once the portal is stabilized, we can use it to go back to Iconia's past and hopefully undo this war before
That's our only option.
Our situation is desperate. If we fail here, Earth will fall, and Kronos won't have much hope of standing without it.
This is our last chance then. I'll see you in the past.
I'm arriving with the time ship. We must protect it until the portal is stable.
I believe my fighter's still active.
Keep those Iconians off us. Temporal coordinates have been identified.
Target's shields have failed.
Energizing temporal emitters. The time portal is open and stable.
Go! Get through that portal!
Setting a course now.
The heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing. Hurry!
We're on our way.
More gateways. An Iconian flagship is moving in.
This is the moment of your extinction.
Not today. Everyone, form up and cover our six.
Theirs not to make reply. Theirs not to reason why. Theirs but to
Theirs
do,
is do
and die.
or die.
Into the Valley of Death rode the 600.
Glad they put that in there. I love that line.
Evaluating astrometrics. Confirmed. We have traveled back approximately 200,000 years. Only our two ships made it through.
There are no signs of Captain Cogran or his ship. We will have to continue the mission without him.
Captain, we've done some preliminary scans of our temporal location. Noi put us exactly where and when we needed to be on Iconia, about 2 hours ahead of the time we have for the attack in this world. Thanks, Nervo.
Perfect. This will give us a moment to get our bearings and figure out how best to prevent the Iconians from escaping their doom. There are only 12 Iconians that we've encountered, so trying to deal with just those 12 will be a much easier task than trying to take on this whole world.
Let's see what we can learn about these people in the time we have.
Greetings of the whole to you, strangers, and welcome to Iconia. My name is Matararen, and I am a herald of Matara. Before I can allow you to pass, I must scan you to ensure that your technology is of a sufficient level for you to be allowed access to our city. This will only take a moment.
By all means.
Your technology is sufficient, but your chronoton particles are substantially out of phase. Please follow me. You must speak to my mistress.
Lead the way.
Remember why we are here. Every Iconian must die in the bombardment, and their technology cannot be taken. If even one Iconian escapes, this could all be for nothing.
I know what our mission is, but I'm not sure it's the right thing to do.
I recommend we begin by infiltrating their government building. We need access to their data and the gateway controls.
Agreed, we can't allow any other technology to escape.
You've seen the ruins of a once mighty empire. This is Iconia at the height of its power.
I apologize for the interruption, Honored One. These travelers have just arrived at our city. Their chronoton particles are out of phase, and per your instructions, I have brought them to you.
Listen politely.
Thank you, Mataran. You may return to your station. Greetings, friends, and welcome to Iconia. It is highly unusual to receive visitors with such unusual chronoton signatures, and yet we have had 2 in less than a cycle. Do you know a being named Cogran?
Yes, we are separated from Cogran on our journey here.
Wonderful. He will be quite pleased to reunite with you. You should be able to find him in the residential district. I imagine you passed through the same chronoton charged nebula he did. That would account for the anomalous readings.
Yes. We did pass through that nebula. Is there anything else we need to know?
Since you are explorers like Cogran, I suggest you speak to Lemirin. She is the keeper of our world heart, a repository of all knowledge and a genetic record of the worlds we have visited. The astrometrics data in the world heart could prove quite useful to you. Do you have any questions?
That's all for now.
Greetings, travelers. Are you explorers, or do you come seeking our wisdom and guidance? Either way, I apologize. I am rather occupied at the moment. Please, return later. I should have time to speak to you then.
I will be back, thank you.
The changes we see in the Iconians are too great to be simple evolution. The Iconians shape themselves and the Heralds into weapons. Genetic engineering that is both efficient and terrible.
You made it. Something must have gone wrong as we entered the portal that disrupted synchronization. I arrived 2 weeks ago. I remained cloaked, scanned the planet for several days, and then came to the surface as an explorer, seeking to open diplomatic relations with the Iconians. My ship is using the magnetic fields above the poles to help conceal its presence.
What have you found?
The Iconians of this time are nothing like the ones we know. They are flesh, and appear to be friendly and peaceful, if a bit arrogant with those they see as lesser. Come. They will allow us to move through the city freely. You should see this for yourself.
We have a lot to see, Cogran.
Cogran is either a fool, or he's being manipulated by the Iconians. Either way, he might jeopardize the mission. We'll need to watch him closely.
He has a point.
Someone's calling for help.
An injured herald. This could be a chance to learn about their physiology. Perhaps even find a weakness.
Hello. Can you help us? My herald is injured, and I cannot leave him. I need someone to bring us some healing supplies.
I will assist
Thank
you.
There should be a healer nearby.
I will find them.
Do you require assistance, visitor?
Are you a healer? We are in need of a medical assistance.
Certainly. However, I do not detect any injuries or maladies in your physical form. What do you require?
It's not for me. One of Valar's heralds is injured.
Oh, of course. It is our duty and privilege to care for our heralds. I will follow you to the patient.
Thank you.
We'll see who the lesser race is.
Shut up, Seela.
I have spent days among these people. They are very proud and very strong.
Thank you, Traveler. I appreciate your assistance.
You're welcome. Be well.
The Iconians' affection for their pets is a weakness. We can exploit that.
Remain silent.
I am not so sure. After all, we've seen how the Iconians will transform their pets. The Heralds are merciless killing machines. They have killed multitudes during this war.
Seela responds.
Deaths that we will avenge here. No more waiting. We need to finish our mission.
Indeed.
I don't understand why you're bothering to help these people. We need to find the gateway controls, sabotage them, and be done with it. This could all be over if you'd let it.
It's my job to help people in need. Circumstances are irrelevant.
Clearly the Iconians have a highly developed sense of the aesthetic.
That's fine, but what we need is to know more about their technology. And we're going to a park.
When you have technology as advanced as the Iconians, wonders can be found anywhere you look. We should talk to that officer over there.
I see you are interested in this device. We are testing a new method of encryption. So far, it has proven to be most effective. To access the console, You must solve a series of problems that we believe only an Iconian could answer. Unfortunately, I fear the console is stuck in a testing phase, which is why I am protecting it. It may be a waste of time. You appear intelligent enough, but I doubt you or any of our other visitors could solve even the easiest of problems in the algorithm.
And let me watch the console for you. Lamiran says she needs to see you right away.
I am not supposed to leave this area unwatched, but all of my heralds are performing other duties. And if Elmiran sent you, very well. Thank you, Traveler. I will not be long.
You shouldn't keep her waiting, Latran. Access security file at Ecobar. The Ecobar have made no secret that they covet our gateway technology. Unfortunately, they're a warlike species. Soon they'll develop rudimentary warp drive technology. They'll use it to attack and enslave several inhabited worlds. The Ecobar have also made several attempts to covert access our consoles and steal our technology. Although we officially are not at war, we should be extremely cautious with the Ecobar. Access to gateways is strictly off limits for the Ecobar, and the Herald will be assigned to monitor all movements of Ecobar representatives in the area near gateway access points. Download data. Access security file Denasian. The Denasians have made repeated requests for medical technology. Our analysis of their biomechanical ethics, however, indicate their primitive level of development. They have an 84.6% chance of doing harm to themselves with genetic engineering, and a 74.2% chance of using it for biological warfare. Although this far, their dealings with us have been honorable, a plague on their world has increased their demands for our gene manipulators. Our recommendation is to continue to supply the Denasians with medical supplies and antigens, but withhold other medical technology. Download data. Log off console.
It is just as I surmised. The Iconians are following their own version of the Prime Directive. They are attempting to protect lesser developed species from acquiring technology that they may not use wisely or well.
The evidence does point in that direction.
Not so fast. We've only heard one side of the story. I'd like to know what some of the other visitors here think about the oh-so-noble Iconians.
Agreed, let's find out.
We will gladly give you the medicines you require, but our genetic engineering technology is off limits.
Keep listening.
The medicine will help with this plague, but what about the next one? We need the ability to take care of ourselves, but you won't give us the means to do so.
Keep listening.
I am sorry, but we have extremely stringent rules about who can use our technology. There are many species who are not yet ready to use our gifts safely and wisely. One moment, Volkar. Yes? May I help you?
Our people have a similar policy regarding technology to protect developing societies. I think you're right to restrict access.
Yes, I will take your opinion under advisement, but ultimately, this is an Iconian matter. You are simply another visitor on our world.
I'll leave you to it then.
We haven't made much headway trying to reverse engineer the gateways. but just imagine what we could do with it.
And you listening?
Oh, I have. You could move an army in the blink of an eye. Think about what would happen if all these heralds just showed up on your planet. Oh, they'd take over in a day. I'm still trying to acquire some of their data. Have you had any luck yet?
Nothing yet. Despite all their openness and hospitality, the Iconians have everything on lockdown. I can't even get near the building where they keep the world heart without some herald stopping me. If I were the Iconians, I too would think twice about giving people like these advanced technology.
Agreed.
This doesn't prove anything. So the Iconians have their reasons for withholding technology. I don't care, and neither do their enemies. We know the bombardment is imminent. This world will be obliterated, no matter how much you sympathize with the Iconians. And don't forget what we're here to do. There can be no survivors.
You don't see any echoes of yourself in these people, Sela? Sir, in detecting an armada of ships on long-range sensors, multiple configurations. Avoid detection at all
Tell
costs.
your ships to drop into orbit above the polar region. My ship is cloaked there.
As the Elgelts take up position... take up a polar orbit above the planet.
Excuse me, but I require assistance. We have lost contact with several of our colony worlds. I am attempting to increase the range of this communications console to re-establish the connection. But I need another set of hands to adjust the frequency while I attempt to dial in the proper network levels. All of my heralds are currently working on the evacuation. Would you be willing to help me?
I'll do what I can to assist you.
Curious. Our communications should be reaching the colonies, but I am not receiving any response to my messages. Something terrible must have happened. We were not concerned about the lesser races. Not at first. They were like children who wanted things they could not understand. It was our duty to protect them, to guide them. In time, when they were ready, we would have shared all of our gifts.
What will you do now?
I do not know. If the colony worlds have fallen, then I am sorry. Please excuse me. I must speak to our leaders.
Best of luck to you.
We already know the evacuation did not save them.
But the gateway on New Romulus remained active for a time.
Then we must cut off that path, now, before anyone escapes.
Welcome, traveler. I apologize for my earlier absence. Do you have questions about our world?
That is all for now.
The attack is beginning. I thought we'd have more time. We must retrieve the world heart and escape. Will you help us?
The attack is beginning. We must decide how to proceed. I have spoken to these people, walked their streets, shared their meals. Regardless of what we know they will do in the future, the Iconians of this time are not evil. They are peaceful. And they are guilty of no crimes, worse than standing up for their ideals. The very same ideals, I might point out, as the Federation's prime directive.
So you're saying we should help them even knowing what they'll do?
You have walked the same streets as I, spoken to the same people. Can you allow them to die for crimes they have not yet committed? For my part, I find no honor in cold-blooded murder.
I see your point. What do you think, Sela?
It doesn't matter what these people are now. We know what they will become, what they will do. The Iconians will destroy my homeworld. They will bomb the archive in the Lena system and exterminate the Preservers. They will incite the Undine to destroy Keswick 4. They will attack our homeworlds, kill those we love, and threaten our very existence.
That's in the future. We are here now.
And that changes nothing. We know what will happen. In our time, they are poised to destroy or enslave the galaxy. There is no choice. We destroy them now and save ourselves.
Do we have the right to execute the Iconians for crimes they have not yet committed?
It's a bit late for second thoughts. Our mission is clear. We don't have a choice. We're here, and we will do what needs to be done. Atone for your sins after you've saved the galaxy.
Sometimes being ruthless isn't right.
The World Heart contains all of our knowledge and all our genetic data. With it, we can rebuild. We have a refuge built for those who serve us. We shall go there.
We should be able to access the gateway network from here. We could disable all of the gateways at once.
We offered Lemirin our aid. There is no honor in striking down an ally from behind.
The honorable thing would be to complete our mission and save our galaxy. Or do you not care about what happens to Kronos?
We need to transfer the World Heart to a transportable format. I'll need your help to initiate the download from that console. The download is proceeding, but it will not complete before the invaders find us. Now we need to release the magnetic interlocks holding the core. I need you at the other console. More invaders. They must not take the World Heart. The mainframe memory banks. I will require your assistance. More aliens are coming. Protect me.
Enemy targets on sensors. Personal shield losing power.
Oh, wow. Come on, you two, wake up.
Mainframe memory erased. The last step is to eject the World Heart. That was just the beginning of the violence. My people are few, and most of our heralds are elsewhere. Defeating a significant force would be costly to both sides. I know you are not one of the whole, and I have no right to ask for your assistance. But would you help us evacuate the city?
Of course.
Blessings of the whole upon you. We must gather as many of our people as possible and escort them to the gateway platform. Once we are there, I will open the path to our refuge. Many of our people already left for Colony Worlds, but we have lost contact with them. I fear the worst.
What should we do first?
I recommend we locate Tiket. She is our protector, and there are none who know the ways of our enemy as well as she.
Follow me.
Tiket is a fearsome warrior and has kept our people safe for countless millennia until
Rescuing Iconians is not what we're here to do.
Perhaps it is. When we came back in time, we did not know what we would find.
I appreciate your efforts, stranger, but I cannot come with you. I will defend Iconia until my final breath.
If you die here, there are no one. You die here, who will claim vengeance for your fallen?
Your words have merit. If we go to the refuge, we can rebuild. There, we can plan our vengeance. No one will ever threaten us again.
Think of your people, Tiket, not your revenge.
She would let her people die so she could avenge them.
Vengeance is a powerful weapon.
we will never forget this tragic day.
Thank you. You have shown exceptional kindness and valor in this trying time. I will miss my home. Iconia is precious to us, but as long as the whole survives, we can use the world heart to rebuild.
Go to the gateway platform, we will meet you there.
Enemy combatants in close proximity.
These are not a warlike people.
Not yet. That will change.
Bloodshed affects everyone differently. My people became warriors when an alien species threatened our home.
And the Iconians will become conquerors.
Enemy targets on sensors. Flanking damage detected. Personal shield losing power.
Now I see. We've won their confidence, gathered them together. Strike now, and we can eliminate them all.
I will not kill defenseless innocents.
gateway is damaged. You will need to reroute the code and reinitialize the gateway open sequence.
Didn't the others save the Iconians? Where are they?
They may already be here. We're losing ground!
We can't hold them off or...
That's it. Send them through.
No! This isn't our mission! You took everything from me!
The World Heart.
There's no time. The gateway is closing.
Only 12 of us are left. That crystal contains our civilization.
Sheila, stop! We are better than this!
I will remember this, Romulan. I will extinguish your people in payment for your treachery.
This has all played out this way before. I am the cause for Hobus.
No dir. Arrest you, Sela.
I know what you are going to say, but I did what I had to do for my people. I should have acted sooner. If I had, perhaps Romulus would have been restored.
Can't you see your act caused destruction of Romulus? We sent 12 Iconians to Dewa 3. We are the others.
I can't... Taket! What have I done?
You've always been out for yourself. Now you see the result of your selflessness.
The Iconians have fled to Dewa 3, and the Gateway's console has been destroyed, so no one can follow them. Our fate may not have changed from our actions here, but we have done what honor demanded. We are not murderers. Whatever our future may hold, we will face it with our eyes open and our heads held high. We must return to our own time and see what effect our actions had.
This isn't going to be easy to explain, but we need to return. Beam up.
We're initiating a tachyon burst to reopen the portal that brought us here. That should bring us back to the exact moment we left the present time.
The Heralds are firing on the portal!
The portal is destabilizing! Hurry!
Captain Cagran to Alliance Fleet. Stand down. I repeat, stand down. You who have the World Heart and the means to end this. Signal the Iconians, show them we have it, and that we are the ones who save them. This is our last chance to end this war.
Do you wish to surrender? A wise decision.
No, Lamiran. We just returned from the past, your past. We have the World Heart to prove it.
How did you acquire that?
We saved it. We were there when Iconia was lost.
That is not possible. But yet, I see the World Heart in your hands. It is time to end this. Your leaders, our unity. Now.
Wait.
If what you say is true, then that core contains all of the lost knowledge of our people. So much that we thought it was lost forever. Will you return all the remains of our civilization to us?
This conflict must end, and this wound must be healed. Turn the World Heart.
I have never had a chance to examine you closely, but now that you stand before me, I remember you helped us, although it gained you nothing. You are the other.
And this war should never have happened.
Blinded us. Fear of the unknown crippled us. Pain called out for blood in ever greater measures. The events of that day set us on this path. It grieves me to see where it has led. After we escaped to Daywar 3, protecting ourselves became our sole purpose. We transformed ourselves, our home, even our heralds, to prevent another tragedy. And we vowed never to trust again.
You trusted me once.
I did, and it saved us. But we believed the other lost to us. And you were lost to time. And we preserved the whole by any means necessary.
You say you want to protect yourselves, in doing so you destroyed countless lives.
We protected the whole against the lesser species who would destroy us if given a chance, who would steal when we would not give freely. And we did not mourn the deaths of those who were not a part of our unity. And then we faced you, a foe who would not yield, who subverted time itself in an attempt to destroy us. But instead, you showed compassion, even though you knew what would happen to your people if we survived. You helped us, because that is who you are.
Starfleet's mission is to explore, not destroy. Like you, we were defending ourselves.
I am humbled in the face of such integrity. I shall be forever grateful to you for showing us the error of our ways.
Enough blood has been spilled. Let us end this war.
Whatever these creatures did in the past is meaningless. They
Have you forgotten what we did for your people? For you?
Never forget what you have done, or what that creature known as Seaman did. There will never be enough blood to wash away my need for vengeance.
Selah is grieving the loss of her homeworld, a homeworld you destroyed. You have already exacted revenge.
A single world. I can destroy 1,000,000 worlds, and it would not be enough. Your existence is an insult to the memory of our people. I will continue my fight, even if I must fight alone.
Taket, please listen.
She will not listen. Taket has always been very stubborn. In a few thousand years, perhaps, her attitudes will change. Until then, be wary. Taket is a formidable opponent, and I will not take up arms against her, even in defense of the other. But with those of us who remain, you shall have peace. We ask only for our home world. Leave Iconia and our servants undisturbed, and we will trouble you no longer.
That sounds fair, but we have to rectify this treaty with the Alliance.
I understand, but our terms are not negotiable. We need time to breathe and contemplate. Perhaps in a millennia or two, it will be different.
Very well. Farewell. Thank you for striking this accord.
Your compassion has accomplished more in one act than we could have with all the phasers in the fleet. Honor and selflessness have been almost forgotten over the past few years. That needs to change. It's time to act like Starfleet officers again.
Now we need to
We have a
rebuild.
lot to do to heal the wounds the war has left on us all. But we've survived the Borg and the Dominion. We can survive this.
I agree, Captain Kim.
There's a lot of work to be done now. We need to rebuild, recover, try to learn how to live in this new reality. But with people like you on our side, I know we can do it.
If we succeed, we'll all succeed if we work together.
I thought this was it. The last day. And I was ready, but I'm glad my daughter didn't have to die in defense of the Federation. That I get to go home after this. We all do. Thank you.
You're welcome, Captain.
I don't know what to say. I thought I was protecting our future. But instead, all this... It happened because of a mistake I made hundreds of thousands of years ago. I've made a lot of difficult choices in my life. And I didn't always consider the consequences of my actions. Today has made me wonder if there's another way. If I can be better than I am.
It's never too late.
We have much to do, but first, we will celebrate. Let the blood wine flow now that the bloodletting has ceased. There is more to being a warrior than vengeance and death. True honor comes from doing what is right, despite the personal cost. The Iconians will depart, and we will rebuild. Mercy has triumphed where weapons could not. Now I will try to find a way to share this wisdom with my people. Many warriors have fallen in this war. Those of us who remain must walk the path of honor.
It was your courage that showed me the way, Kargan.
The war is over. Although we could not turn back the clock and restore the lives that were lost and the planets that were ravaged, we have ended the conflict honorably. You made the right choice. And that is not always an easy one to make. I would be honored to fight by your side again. Before that day comes, however, we must rebuild. There is already talk of new exploration missions. Perhaps we will find our next challenge among the unexplored stars.
Kapta! And next time we will start the future-proof missions, which are also quite fun. Until then, everyone have a great night, and I will see you next time.